Lee, 0-0 draw away at Lewes. Is that a good away point in your opinion?
Yeah, massively. Lewes, I know, obviously haven't been on a great run recently, but they've shown all season that here they're really hard to beat. Teams like Chelsea come here and had a real tough time. So the way we started and the way we had to deal with what they were throwing at us, it is a really, really good point. I'm quite pleased.
There's no denying they had slightly better of the chances, obviously struck the woodwork a couple of times, but we had our moments as well in what was a bit of a gritty game at times. Overall, how would you assess our performance?
Yeah, I think it was. I think the pitch was in great condition for this time of year, but it's always going to be soft, and the game did get back and forth and a bit gritty. I thought possession-wise we had some nice bits of possession, but in the final third they were so much better than us. We cleared a couple of the line. They've had a couple of goals disallowed. They got through second half 1-on-1 at the post. So yeah, I mean they were better than us today. They were better than us, but we were resolute and we done some real good. We had some real good moments in defence, and we were really solid when we needed to be, and some emergency defending. And second half, we were much more so. Apart from the one chance second half, we limited that. But first half, they were a lot better, and we tried to hit them a bit more on the counter attack. But one or two players didn't have their day today, and that happens. We've got so many that are, having knocks and niggles after coming back. The schedule in the Championship is really tough for players. And
they came flying out the blocks, as you'd maybe expect with them having a new manager. But mentally, how do you feel we dealt with that? Because they were on top in that first 10 minutes, but we seemed to get ourselves together, regroup, and then take our game to them.
Yeah, we said at half time, it's probably in as poor as we've played, and we have rode our luck as far as the opportunities, and we got in 0-0. So we knew we had to be better second half. Second half we were much more solid. Game was played much more centrally in midfield for both teams, and I thought second half was miles better. We changed the shape, we did have a change of shape, which I think helped us. We just didn't quite have the impetus we did last week. Obviously, we had one change. Merrick missing is big for us, but no. All in all, it was a good point in a tough place to play. New manager, big impetus from them to push on, and they had a bit of a spark, and they definitely had that today. So they beat a lot of people, take a lot of points off people, and we're just going to keep ticking over.
You introduced Evie Gain at half-time after we recently signed her in the week. How would you assess her performance for her first game back in the Championship?
Yeah, I thought Evie was brilliant. There was 2 or 3 big moments where she got the cut-out, she got the blocking, some good defending, and nice on the ball, got forward a couple of times, put a couple of crosses in. Really pleased with Evie, because, you don't expect your debut probably to come on at half-time. Not to Georgia Giddings, unfortunately. And Evie come in, helped the change of shape, and done really well. She should be pleased with herself.
And when you assess our first 2 games of 2020, 3 points obviously last week away at London City, and then another solid point on the road. Overall, you must be pretty pleased before we head into the FA Cup next week.
Yeah, and 2 clean sheets as well. So it has been a good start. You look at winning your home games, and trying to get a point away from home. So we've done that, and that's the sort of what we want to keep trying to do, get as many points as we can do, and points away from home are big ones. So next week's going to be tough, we know that. We just got to make sure that the players get themselves in as a best shape as possible for it, because it's going to be a tough but enjoyable game.
We obviously have a couple out injured at the moment, and again Nikita Winnett misses through illness, and Lauren Pickett comes back from illness today. How would you assess the squad look going into another week ahead of another big fixture?
Yeah, it's not ideal. We've got a good squad here, but I have not had all season the opportunity to pick everybody. We just haven't had it. So the strain on the players in the Championship, 4 days a week, including the match day and training, and the semi-professional nature with all the work. I think the strains on the players are really tough, and you come back from a big Christmas break, throw straight into games, you're going to feel it. And we probably had that little bit of a hangover from last week that Lewes didn't have. They'll probably feel that next week. But yeah, so it's tough at the moment, but the players are rehabbing well. The rehab's gone well for a few players. Merrick's slightly ahead of the schedule. I think Alex is in a good place, let alone the rest of are coming back from illnesses which have been around. I mean, Lauren, looked like she was still feeling the effects of it, and I don't blame her with that today. So yeah, players got to go away, take it on board, and get themselves prepared.
And just lastly, I want to touch on the performance of Billy Brooks today. She seemed to be one of our players of the match. She got in very quickly on those Lewes attackers, were very quick and very dangerous. Got her tackles in, got the clearances away. You must be really pleased with her performance.
Yeah, Bill's absolutely been superb. She had a year out of the game and has come back, and obviously when you've had a year out, there's things to work on and get yourself back fit and get yourself ready, and she's been working really hard to do that, and she's been a brilliant player for us this season. I knew Bill from before. Her attitude and everything's excellent, and first half she got caught a little bit at times just because of the shape we were playing. We changed that second half, and her and Georgia Robert second half as two centre halves were top class and winning headers, winning tackles. And again, Nick Gibson for the second game in a row in front of them two was brilliant. So we had to do the horrible stuff today because Lewes were better than us in big patches.